You didn't ask for this. You were an outsider, living a quiet life until the black SUVs arrived. Now, you've inherited more than just a company. You've inherited a machine, a global architecture of data, influence, and shadow budgets. Like the CIA's clandestine service, this life isn't about what the world sees, it's about the patterns civilians miss. You are the new head of a tech dynasty. And in this world, being good at what you do doesn't just mean you're successful, it means you're alive. The cycle is beginning. Welcome to the top. Level 1. The accidental heir. It starts with a meeting that feels like an interview. You're in a room with men in gray suits who ask questions that seem random but aren't. They're building a profile. They're looking for lies. They want to know if you can compartmentalize, if you can do the terrible things required to keep the stock price up, and then go home and eat dinner with your family like nothing happened. You pass the polygraph of their scrutiny. You're not just a person anymore, you're an asset of the legacy. Level 2. The onboarding. They send you to the equivalent of the farm, not a swamp in Virginia, but a private island in the Pacific. For the next 18 months, this is your home. You learn financial tradecraft. You learn how to spot surveillance on the digital web, the man reading a newsfeed who looked at your profile twice, the woman on a park bench who is actually a rival firm's data scraper. You learn how to recruit assets, convincing CEOs and politicians to betray their own interests for your dynasty's gain. You study the 4 motivations that control every person you'll ever meet: money, ideology, coercion, and ego. Your job is to find the pressure point and press it. Level 3. The junior executive. Your first posting is a regional office in an emerging market, a country still figuring out if it's an ally or an adversary to your tech empire. Officially, you're a VP of Business Development. Unofficially, you're a spy. You attend diplomatic functions, making small talk with people you're secretly evaluating as potential targets. You identify a mid-level bureaucrat with gambling debts or a scientist with a sick child. You don't ask them to betray their country, you just ask them to share some data. Just a few documents. Just enough to pay off their debt. You file your report. Your board is pleased. Level 4. The shadow director. You're offered something different, non-official cover. You won't have the protection of the company's legal team. You won't have a badge or a corporate ID. If you get caught, the dynasty will deny you exist. You move through shell companies and front businesses that don't actually do any consulting. You live your cover 24 hours a day. Your neighbors think you're a management consultant. Your parents think you quit the family business years ago. You are completely alone, operating in the black budget regions of the global economy. Level 5. The alga warrior. You move into the special activities wing of the dynasty. These aren't just executives, these are financial soldiers. You're not picking locks anymore. You're executing high-frequency trading strikes. You use asymmetry to destroy rivals who don't even see what killed them. Like a tank gunner, you operate a system so advanced that missing is the exception and hitting is the assumption. You launch hostile takeovers like drone strikes, watching through binoculars as your competitors' stock prices turn into craters. You try not to think about the people who lose their jobs. You have another mission tomorrow. Level 6. The regional chief. You're 42 years old and you feel 60. You're the senior officer in an entire hemisphere. Every operation, every asset, every piece of intelligence flows through you. You manage hundreds of local agents, informants who provide tips on government regulations, access agents who can get into places you can't. You meet with ambassadors every morning to coordinate with the diplomatic mission of your company. The politics are exhausting. You approve operations that could start international incidents if they go wrong. You sleep 4 hours a night. Your marriage is over. Your kids don't really know you, they only know the person you pretend to be. Level 7. The chairman. You're back at headquarters. You walk past the memorial wall of failed projects and burned executives. You run the entire clandestine service of the dynasty. Billions in black budget funding flow through your accounts. Money that doesn't appear in any congressional report. Money that officially doesn't exist. You brief world leaders on covert operations that will never be acknowledged. You sign off on activities that would be war crimes in a court of law if anyone ever found out. Everyone in the room knows the game. They want plausible deniability, and you give it to them. The machine runs on secrets and blood, and you are the one who keeps it running. Level 8. The Ghost. You retire after 30 years. 30 years of decisions that changed the course of history in ways that will never be written in any book. There's a small ceremony. The board gives a speech about your sacrifice and the price of freedom. You receive a medal that you can't display and can't explain. You move to a house far from the city. You don't have many friends. You wake up at 3 a.m. and walk the perimeter of your property, looking for threats that aren't there. You are a ghost. Somewhere, in a college dorm, a young person is filling out an application for your company. They're dreaming of adventure. They have no idea what they're really signing up for. They don't know it will hollow them out and fill them back up with secrets. But they'll learn. They always do. The cycle begins.